Alright guys, so today we're going to do a walkthrough on my 2006 RSX Type S. We should be installing a new exhaust. We've got the HKS high power system, the 65mm version, so it's pretty sweet, but we've got a little bit of work to do before we replace that. I went ahead and bought the upgraded system because we had some exhaust issues, you could say. I'm the third owner of this car, so I don't know when or what brand was put on. It's kind of got straight piped from cat back to the aftermarket muffler, which I have no idea what brand it is. It sounded pretty sweet, but unfortunately it rusted through, and so much so that I can't re-weld it. It's just up where it broke, it's gone. So I went ahead and bought the HKS system. And we're going to get started on pulling the car into the garage. I'll give you all a little walkthrough first. And then pulling the old system on, we'll compare it to the HKS. I'm still waiting with customer support because, I thought this system was supposed to be powder coated, but, what I received isn't. It's not the end of the world. Honestly, this exhaust will probably outlive the car as is, but if I was supposed to get the powder-coated system, I want the powder-coated system. So we're not installing it just yet until we hear back from them, but we can pull the old system off and at least compare. So let's go take a look at the RSX. Alright, sorry if there's a little bit of noise. I'm standing right by my pool pump right now, but just wanted to give overall first looks at my RSX. So this thing is sweet, dude. It's a 2006 RSX Type S. I've had this thing for probably almost 2 years now. Absolutely love it. It's a manual. My first manual. Really no major issues with the car. I keep up with regular maintenance. It was previously garage kept. The car is a bit dirty right now. It's been sitting outside for a couple weeks waiting on this exhaust to ship. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, but no, this thing is sweet. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this exhaust. So first impression, yeah, it's not supposed to do that. Even closer inspection, yeah, that's my fucking melted bumper. There's a hole in my bumper now, which, we'll clean it up, we'll fix it up, but no, this thing is done. Let's see if I can show you guys. So, again, I don't know what brand this is. It could just be an eBay muffler for all I know. But here's where we're disconnected. Right at the weld to the actual muffler. So yeah, that baby's toast. There's nothing we could really do about that. So that's why I went ahead and got the new system, but yeah, overall, this thing is pretty freaking sweet. I absolutely love it. Just figured I'd give an inside look too, because this thing's pretty sweet. These are aftermarket floor mats. The originals were kind of toast. The originals are this, on the driver's side at least. These are the originals. They're pretty sweet. Yeah. So we've got a double din head unit in here. Everything else is pretty much stock. I've got an aftermarket shifter in here. I'm pretty sure I've got the Exity two-way system. Acuity, sorry. It's been a while since I installed that. But no, that was like one of my first upgrades, and the best thing I've done to the car. It's so crisp. It's so smooth. I love it so much. This is a six gear system and reverse all the way over here. No, I love this thing. And then it's even got this little the mystical 10mm that always goes missing. I've always got one here in the car. So no, I absolutely love this thing. All black interior. It's everything. It's got the hatchback. I can show you guys that too. Oh, it's kind of unfortunate, but I have a Starlight system in there that I installed. Unfortunately, our fiber optic cables are not as long as I had hoped, but we might be fixing that in the future. No hatchback, this thing's sick. Yeah, absolutely love this car. I daily it when it's up and running, but yeah, no, this thing's sick. So I did just recently move and have this awesome barn, and you know, I'm still kind of setting up my area, but this is where we're gonna pull the car in and work on it for now. I'll move my toolbox over here, but yeah, it's kind of used for storage right now, but eventually it'll get cleaned up and I'll have all of my work stuff over here and it'll be sweet. But we're gonna put the car in here. I might play a sound clip for you guys to see how our broken muffler sounds right now. But yeah, let's get it done. Okay, there's no screen on this thing, so I don't know how well y'all can see. Hopefully it's at least got the car like a little bit in frame. I have no idea. We're gonna do a cold start on this thing with a broken muffler, and yeah, hopefully you guys can get a good sound clip. Just revved it for my phone. A little bit of a pop. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a cabin sound too. Not good. Not good. Let's get this moved to the barn and fucking fix this. Alright, we got this puppy in the garage. Dude, the idle is terrible. Oh, it's so bad. Look, you can see the exhaust leak through the muffler. Oh god. Yeah, let's fix that. Alright, I'm gonna pull my actual toolbox out of the garage, cause bro, shit is just thrown everywhere. This is gonna be a whole job, just trying to find all my shit and setting up this garage how I want. But you know, it's a really fucking nice space. We'll get it done. So let's fucking get on with this job already. Jesus. I also just wanted to give a quick rundown of what I actually bought. So I got this HKS system. It's the high power muffler. This is the 65 millimeter, and I brought it from Redline 360. And you know, here's what I'll say about Redline. If you're 100% sure that you're gonna get the right part and that you're not gonna need customer service, then go ahead and buy from them. They usually have the best prices. But if for any reason you need to speak to customer service, be prepared to be fighting that shit for like 2 weeks. For real. I have reached out to them since the very first day, literally the first hour that I've seen this thing. Because I thought the system was supposed to be black powder coated. Usually all these HKS systems, as far as I had kind of seen online, were all powder coated. And well, clearly this one's not. You know, it's still made out of stainless steel, so, you know, even as is, it'll probably outlast the car. But it's just not what I thought that I bought, because they had advertised in the pictures the black powder coated one. It never explicitly said that in the description, but I mean, I didn't really think much of it because, you know, they had the picture of the powder coated one. So, you know, on top of that, on the actual muffler piece here, like, everything's really nice. These welds are super solid, but look at that fat ass dent. Can y'all see that? It's not even really that fat. It's a couple millimeters, and I honestly can't tell if it's intentional. Because I seen one other video online that I saw that similar bump on the exact same spot. So I don't know if it's a packaging issue or if it's intentionally like that for clearance. But it's just weird because it's like on the bottom of how the exhaust actually sits. I guess it's technically on the left side. But the left side bottom, like, it's really weird. I mean, other than that though, I didn't really see much other. I mean, there's a little bit of scrapes and bruises on this mid pipe, but you know, I'm not too worried about that. Like, a little bit of scratches. I didn't find any other dents though. Yeah, but like, look how these flanges are welded on there. Like, the welds look really solid. Super nice system. This one didn't come with a silencer either. Not that I was ever gonna run the silencer, but it might just be nice to have. It did come with some hardware. There's 4 nuts and bolts here and washers, and it looks like 3 flanges. Looks like one's for the cat and 2 are for, you know, the mid-pipe and muffler connection. I hope there's stickers. I haven't seen any. I hope there's stickers. I feel like I deserve it for a $600 system. And then, of course, the resonator here. Even with these hangers are welded on with fat welds. These ones are super reinforced. Like, you're never gonna have to worry about that. But again, like I said, I'm still talking with customer service to make sure that, one, this is actually what I ordered. They sent me the right thing. Because on the actual box here, it says 2002 RSX. It doesn't say RSX Type S. It doesn't say 2002 to 2006. And it's just not matching the description that it had online. So it made me a little bit sus, but you know, I'm 90% sure this is the right system. Everything else lines up besides what the actual box label says, and then it not being powder coated. So that's what I have contacted customer service about. And honestly, I feel like they've been giving me the runaround. I've gotten zero confirmation that they're actually doing something. I've just been asked to send the same pictures like 4 times now at this point. And I've been contacting them every day, and they only respond to me after I like make a new contact like email. When they have the, you know, contact us form online, I just keep submitting a new one of those, and that's the only way I've been getting answers. So I'm impressed with the part. The part is super nice. Just kind of disappointed with the company. I think I've bought something from them before and I had a fine experience because it was the right part. I didn't need customer service. It was the cheapest. It shipped the fastest. Yeah, this literally came like next day or 2 days after I ordered. Like I hadn't even looked at the shipping, like confirmation tracker. And I pulled back home from work and it was already at my front door. I didn't have to sign for anything. So I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to get the system off and try and compare it and see how well it lines up, and then see what customer service has to say going forward. So, I mean, that's really all we can do right now, so let's get to it. So, for just a little bit of overview, I figured I'd show the engine bay. I've got a battery relocated. It's in my passenger front bumper pretty much. It's all hardwired into there. It's a nice loomed kit from DC5 Creations. Even I have AC also hidden, if you noticed. So at my firewall, I have AC connections that are hidden in my passenger fender. Other than that, it's mostly stock. You know, I've got this AME hot intake, you could say, and then it has some kind of headers. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe that needs addressing too. What are they? Looks like they're DC Sports headers on that label there. They're kind of small, but might need to address that. All right, so got the car in the ground, fucking off the ground. It's just on jack stands in the back right now. It's a couple inches off the ground, nothing crazy. Wheel chocks up front. Dude, the exhaust is in such bad shape. I didn't realize how bad. It might be stock exhaust all the way back, just besides the muffler. So here you can see how badly it's broken. Yeah, so that muffler's done. There's fucking part of my bumper. That's wonderful. So I went ahead and just pulled that off the hangers, and it fucking came off the mid-pipe just fine. And then I was trying to follow the mid-pipe back because, you know, I somewhat expected there to be bolts to the resonator. Nope, just welds. Just welds on both sides. Okay, then fine. Just keep following it back. And you see the only bolts on this thing are on the cat. These 3 bolts here, I don't know how well you can see, but the fucking condition of them is not great. Yeah, I have about like 3 inches of leverage here for these 3 bolts, and you know, there's 1, 2, and 3 sort of in the back there. And then besides that, just, yeah, that's not supposed to do that. It looks like there's a hanger loose up there. I don't even know where that goes. I'm worried about the connection to the headers. I think it's got DC headers on it. I didn't install those. They've been on the car a long time at this point, but I don't even know if I can get these bolts off. I don't know what to do right now. This is not what I was hoping to see. Do they look terrible? They look absolutely terrible. The condition of the mid pipe of the cat, and honestly the headers too, is not great. Not great. So this is a lot worse than I was expecting, I think. So we may have more work than I thought. Okay, so clearly not what I was expecting. Honestly, every piece of the exhaust is in worse condition than I had hoped and thought. So I don't know. I need to do a little bit of research. I'm hoping I don't have to take it to a shop, but man, I really need to get that thing on a lift so I can have some leverage and be able to use heat and flames if I'm gonna need to. And I just can't do that 3 inches off the ground. Man, I really wanted to install this myself, so I'm a little bit disappointed right now. But I'm trying to think if I can find a way that I can still do it. At this point, I'm almost a little bit worried that I'm gonna need a new, I'm worried I'm gonna need a new cat. I'm worried I'm gonna need new headers. It's got the DC Sports headers on it right now, but man, I have no idea how old those are, and it does not look like the connection to the cat is very good, if connected at all. There might be a major exhaust leak there that I had no idea about. So if I can't somehow fix that connection, I'm worried that I need an entire new exhaust from the engine back. And clearly, I spent a good amount of money just on the cat back. I wasn't expecting to have to replace the cat potentially and the headers potentially. So, man, I'm in a pickle here. I don't know what we're gonna do. I have a second car that I'm driving right now, so I don't need it back up immediately, but it would be super nice. You know, I like the daily of that car. It's my favorite thing in the world. So, man, it sucks. It sucks so bad. We're gonna see what we can do though. This is just what fucking happens when you're, you know, dailying and modifying a car that's almost fucking 20 years old at this point. So, I don't know. I guess fucking stay tuned to see what I decide to do and how it fucking goes. Because, man, I want to get this new exhaust on here and rip this thing, but I don't know that it's possible in my garage with, you know, the limited tools that I have as far as to be able to get the car off the ground. Like, this thing really needs a lift, and I don't know if there's anyone that has one that I can put one on, or I'm like I said, gotta do some research. Man, this sucks. I just want my car to rip right now, but it don't. Right now it burns my fucking muffler. It burns my bumper from the muffler. Alright, now the muffler ain't even on it, so we gotta get this sorted out, and hopefully soon, so I can rip this thing and show y'all how it sounds all upgraded. So, stay tuned, and I don't know, let's see how we fix this shit, because I don't know, man. I have no idea. Alright, so I don't remember what I last fucking filmed. It's been a couple of days at least. This fucking thing is giving me nothing but troubles. So, it's currently fucking up, and the garage is a mess. It's still not put away, but, so as you can fucking see, this thing is absolutely destroyed. So much so, like, yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, so that's done. That's why it couldn't be rewelded. I just slipped it off the hangers and it fucking came off. Okay, so I had been using a fucking, like, baby jack before this. That was like 70 bucks. So I had to go pick up another fucking jack and set this shit up. It's actually really nice. I like it a lot. Because look how much more clearance I have off the ground, and I could still go higher if I wanted to. But anyway, to the problem. Okay. So, first, I was expecting there to be 2 or 3 bolts from the mid-pipe to the muffler. There's not. So I'm pretty sure that like muffler was taken to a shop and welded on, which is why I couldn't find anything about that and why that brand is probably discontinued, you know, almost 20 years later. So, you know, we already got new parts and all that. I just need the fucking mid-pipe out, so I was like, whatever. Let me just go to the bolts from the mid-pipe to the cat. Holy fucking shit. Okay, I mean, I know I live in Ohio. I know I daily drive this car, and it sits on the street and outside most of its life. And I've only had it for probably like 2 or 3 years. But fuck, dude. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like 14 millimeters. I had 10s, like, sliding on them. Like, they are so destroyed, corroded, rusted, that as soon as I touch it, it all just, like, flakes off. So I try to, like, wire brush it and still touch it, and it's like, okay, this is so bad. But I refuse to give up. So I'll show you guys the bolts in a second. But my plan of attack is I'm just going to fucking cut the bolts off, and then I'll drill out whatever I need to. Because I have all new hardware from the catback. So I just need this fucking mid-pipe off. The cat is in horrendous condition, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen, at least like in videos and shit, I don't think I've ever seen a cat look like that. So it honestly might need replaced, but I am trying to see if we can get by, at least for a little bit. And maybe that's something I'll do in the future. But fuck. Like, let me show you guys what the fuck we're fighting. But anyway, I got fucking different attachments for my rotary tool. Like, we're just gonna cut this fucker off. So let me show you why it's so fucked up first, though. So as we slide under the car here, yeah, I mean, obviously you can see all the shit on the floor, and this is after I've swept. So yeah, I don't know how much more I need to say other than just look at it. Obviously that's the cat there, and here's the bolts that I'm trying to mess with. There's supposed to be like nuts on the back, and then this, you know, like, fucking hell, it's so bad. It's so bad. And then this is supposed to be like the head of a bolt. And obviously there's like a spacer between, but fuck. I don't know if it's just so heat soaked that it's, I have no idea what happened. But the state of, like, I can't even, they're not, like, those aren't even bolts anymore. I've been working on this shit all day. You know how they say it's, oh, it's a 20-minute job, oh, it's a 2-hour job. When is it ever? With automotive stuff, when the fuck is it ever? Okay. So basically, it's fucking out of the car now, alright? I'll stop doing this to you guys. My whole fucking exhaust, all of it together, because it won't fucking come apart. So obviously the muffler snapped off here. And I don't know if this is stock or not, but I mean, clearly we got some welds here. So resonator, I'm assuming, down to the mid-pipe, to the cat. So I don't know if you guys can tell the fucking state of all of this, but holy fucking shit. So I'm pretty sure that these are supposed to be studs on the cat, and then these are just supposed to be nuts. Do those look like fucking nuts to you guys? What size are those? Like, what the fuck? So, I mean, obviously the cat's not in great fucking condition. These bolts won't move. I was like, am I just gonna fucking buzz wheel them? I don't know. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm just dropping the exhaust from the cat back. And then, well, should have been fucking easy too, and this fucking wasn't, because you got these spring bolts, and I fucking snapped one of them. But I'll show you, I got one of them out cleanly. I really don't think it was my fault, because, well, let me just fucking show you how bad the state of these the state of my shop right now, fuck. Okay, so here's the other fucking spring bolt that I got off. I don't know if you guys can fucking see this. Let's go into the light more. Look at those fucking threads. I can't believe this one came out. What is that? I mean, half of it's okay. That's probably the only reason it did come out. The other one was so much worse. It literally snapped off, not even where the threads are, it snapped off like up here, closer to the bolt head. But I don't fucking know. I think I'm getting a new cat now too. So, because I ain't putting that fucking shit back on. I'm not fucking with those bolts. Yeah, I'll pay whatever, fucking, as long as it's not like $1,000. Holy shit. And then, whatever fucking spacer actually goes from like your cat to your headers is in terrible condition as well. I don't know if it's gonna come off in one piece or if that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But I don't even have the wherewithal for any more pain in the ass. Alright, I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you guys, because I ain't never gonna lie to you. This shit has been super hard, just because of the state of my exhaust. So, pretty sure last I showed you guys, I pulled the whole thing. Cat, mid-pipe, resonator. Muffler's already off, obviously. And I went ahead and bought a new cat. It was under $200 with shipping and everything. And when I was prying to get the O2 sensors off, you know, these nuts just disintegrated even more. And you could really get a look at the state of this thing. When I actually pick the cat up, you can hear all of the metal inside bouncing around. So yeah, good thing that we're going to go ahead and replace that. I just got a new stock type one. It's basically the same thing. And we already went ahead and installed it, and Jesus, that snap spring bolt was the worst thing ever. But you can go ahead and see the new system on there. Might throw in a couple pictures, but that bolt was the hardest thing ever to drill out. This top one came off fine. That's the one that I didn't snap. The one on the other side snapped in the threaded hole. And I was like, okay, fine, we're just gonna drill it out. And I did drill it out, but it literally took like 5 hours and like 16 drill bits. And I just think it's been through that many heat cycles that it was all basically one piece of metal. So after we got through that hurdle, you know, I had the new cat was already here, swapped the O2 sensors, and that one's bolted up and in. So if we pop under here now, everything's a mess because it was a pain in the ass. But there's a brand new cat mounted up, bolted in on the hangers, O2 sensors in, they should be clipped in. And yeah, should be able to work on the rest of our system now. But yeah, so this has been fighting a rusty exhaust. Do not recommend. Probably should have just taken it to a shop, but I have far too much pride to do that, and so here we are still working on it. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. Also, right quick, I forgot. This is the old spacer that I pulled off. I literally had to pry it off with a screwdriver. Yeah, so it's torn apart. And then the new spacer that the cat came with, I had to kind of shave some of it down with like a sand belt and file to get it to fit because it was off by like a quarter or like 1/8 of an inch. But that's all put on now. It's all in there. You probably can't see it too well. You just trust me, it's in there. But if you're if you have DC, I don't know if the DC Sports comes with a different gasket to the cat, but just be aware. You're probably gonna have to do some filing and a little bit of modification and tapping and to get that gasket on there. So hopefully that connection is gonna be fine. Once we drive the car a little bit, it gets heated up. It should, you know, sort of melt together and make a great seal. So I'm not too worried about it. And if I hear any exhaust leaks, you know, these first couple drives, just gonna get back under it, tighten it up, make sure everything looks good, and that's really all we can do. It might sound a little bit weird until everything gets heated up and like kind of normal, but that's kind of to be expected with a new exhaust, especially if you're doing this much of a system replacement. So hopefully we don't have to encounter any of that, but if we do, I won't be too surprised or worried, because you know, it probably had a fatter exhaust leak everywhere before, so we're definitely fixing some. You know, fingers crossed, no exhaust leaks, but even if there is a tiny one, we can still tweak it, but we've definitely improved the system, improved the airflow, and it helped some exhaust leak at the very minimum. So yeah, I'm gonna get these O2 sensors plugged in and then start trying to bolt up the new kit, and hopefully I can show you guys the finished product and there's no more issues, but if there is, I'm sure I'll record it. Okay, so far the actual install of the HKS part has gone really smoothly. Like, I'm super surprised with how many issues I had taking the system off. I was fully expecting something not to line up or not to tighten or you know, XYZ. But I installed it by myself even. I was just using my jack to kind of push it up into position, and then I was just finger tightening bolts, getting the gaskets in place. And here, give you a little sneak peek of her. Yeah, I think it looks pretty freaking good. I mean, it's obviously lower, it's bigger piping. That's gonna be the lowest point of my car. But if we actually pop around to this other side, it's the only thing I have left to put on. You can sort of see how I was using these jacks to help support this. But it's actually like super tight to the body. Like, look at that. All the way through. Even up like where the cat is, it's super tight to the body. I'm super happy with that. I was expecting some sag. Plenty of clearance for suspension in the back, it feels like. All the hangers lined up. Could reuse the old hangers just fine. And even, you know, everything's bolted up, but dude, this thing's solid. Of course it has a little bit of wiggle. That's what the hangers are for, the spring bolts to absorb some kind of shock. But I mean, this is the new low point on my exhaust, or on my car. So if anything is gonna scrape, it's gonna be this beautiful system. So I'm still at stock ride height. I do have plans for coilovers in the future. Not that I want to go slammed, but this is definitely something to take into consideration when you do new exhaust. Is how big do you want your tubing? How low do you want to run? Do you care if you scrape your exhaust? These kind of things you have to take into consideration before you even buy parts. So we're kind of at monster truck fitment. Of course, the car is in the air at the front, so this isn't a true representation of ride height, but it's not far from it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna have no issue clearancing. There should still be almost a foot of clearance. It's gonna be under that, probably like closer to 8 inches of clearance, I would assume. We can measure it once we get it flat on the ground. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Take a little bit of a break because I think I'm to the point where I want to put up the ass of the car. And just because I barely have any clearance at the back, and those are the last 2 bolts that need to go into place. But of course, it's a loud ass truck. Of course, it's always good practice to clean up your shop and make sure you're not missing any tools that could potentially be under your car or somewhere in your engine bay or somewhere under the system that I've been working on. So take a short break. I'm gonna try to organize all my shit because I haven't picked it up since we started this project, and I've been working on this for, to be honest, like a full week because that bolt was so hard to get out. Yeah, you guys could probably tell that we jumped from, okay, we're fucking taking this shit off, or this is stupid, and then I just didn't record for a while because I was so frustrated. I might insert a couple pictures just to give you an idea of what the fuck we were dealing with, of drilling that bolt out on the header. So, man, if you snap one of them spring bolts, like I was using cobalt bits, titanium bits, the diamond plated tips, nothing was eating through that thing. Literally went through like 3 or 4 full battery charges on my impact. I mean, it's not a drill, but on my impact. To even break through the fucking bolt. So, man, if you can get that bolt out without snapping it, or even if you do snap it, if you can like weld a nut to it or double nut trick, I don't have a welder, so I wasn't able to do that, and there was literally no threads on the bolt because it was that worn, so I couldn't do the double nut trick, so I resulted in, you know, just rotary cutting the ends of it and then drilling through, and it worked eventually, but man, that shit was frustrating. But I'm so excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too far yet because I don't know if we're going to encounter any more issues, and I don't want to celebrate before it's too early because got a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth from doing this. But you know, it's just how it goes. It's the pride of working on your own shit, of doing it yourself. And again, I really wouldn't have it any other way. Even though this thing can sometimes be a hate-love relationship, love-hate relationship, I seriously wouldn't have it any other way. Man, working on cars is so fun. It's frustrating for sure. You gotta have a lot of patience, but man, it's super rewarding. So, okay guys, so the whole system is on, pretty much. The muffler still needs kind of bolted in, but I just wanted to show you guys. So, it's tight. It's jacked up a little bit, so it sits a little bit lower than this. I still have the plastic or bubble wrap on because, you know, we're not fully done messing with it, so I prefer to keep it as clean as possible for as long as possible. So, obviously we don't want the bumper to burn. Like, it's just aesthetics-wise. I've seen pictures of people with, like, black, bubbly, like, melted bumpers, and it looks really bad. So I'm a little bit worried about the fitment, so I was like, okay. I looked online, I was like, okay, you can buy those extended hangers, but I mean, you have to buy them online. You can't pick them up anywhere. And I was like, I really want to just get this done. So I went ahead and I ran to AutoZone and I grabbed 2 more hangers. They're literally the exact same kind as what's on the muffler. And then I kind of MacGyvered my own extended hangers. These aren't fully connected yet. But I think I'm going to mess with it a little bit more tomorrow just because I'm tired and I don't want to make any mistakes or do anything silly. So we'll mess with it tomorrow and see how these extended hangers work. But if you guys would want to do this, this is what I got, and of course I'll tell you how it went. I couldn't find actual like bolts, and I don't think that it matters too much, so I went ahead and just got machine screws. This is 10/24 and it's 2.5 inches long, and then I got matching 10/24 just screw nuts. And then some washers, which again, it doesn't really matter the size too much on these. I went ahead and got a 1/4 inch ones. And so the idea was to put it through sort of both of them. I've got a washer in between, and I can take that away if we don't want that movement, or depending on how it goes when I actually tighten it down with a wrench. But that's basically what I did. I put the screw through with a washer. I put a washer in the middle, put it through the other side, washer, and then that nut. And again, it's not tightened down, so you could get a wrench on here and a screwdriver, tighten it down. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna go ahead and order the extended hangers and swap them over later whenever they come. Because they're like adjustable, like they have 4 holes basically, so you can kind of move it more, customize it more. But again, just for now, it was less than 20 bucks to get all this stuff. And the hangers, the extended hangers, I saw them online for like 15, 20 bucks. So, I mean, it's about the same price. Of course, the extended ones are probably going to be nicer, but this might be just fine. I might not even end up getting the extended ones. We'll see. But again, I'm gonna be done for tonight, and we'll work on it some more tomorrow and get the first start and sound clips on it tomorrow. I mean, I could finish it now, but I don't know. I've been waiting for this for so long, with all of the issues that we've had, and waiting for parts, and waiting for a new cat, and then fucking with everything, and drilling out that hole. So we're just gonna take our time, okay? We have no reason to rush, so I'm not going to, basically. But yeah, we'll report back and see how our extended hangers do. Again, I showed you guys all the stuff. And then we can do a quick look. I think I already showed you guys, but it's super tight to the body. I'm super happy with it. Yeah, so mid pipe is all bolted up, resonator's bolted up, and then the 2 bolts for the muffler are just hand tight right now. Yeah, so overall the actual install of the part went very smooth. I'm super impressed with the kit. Nice pieces, super nice pieces. Yeah, and then just one more thing, I'll show you guys our cat to header sort of connection now with some light so you can actually see it. So there's what we got. You can see the spacer in there, looks in much better condition. Of course, I already told you guys that I had to file it down. So yeah, those bolts might need tightened up. So you see there's a nut on one because we drilled through the threads and I was like, fuck it. And then I didn't put a nut on the other one because it has the threads from the header. So that should hold fine. And again, it might move around a little bit and need tightened up. Whoops. After, you know, we drive the car a little bit, but again, we can mess with that, we can fiddle with that. You know, I'm not gonna take it on a super long drive the first time, maybe like 10, 15 minutes, come back, let it cool down, and then get hands on everything and make sure everything's good. But yeah, overall, this thing, I could have it done tonight, but we're gonna take our time, no need to rush. And yeah, I'm just super happy with this. Maybe I'm speaking too soon because I haven't heard it yet. And, you know, I don't know if there's any exhaust leaks, but there shouldn't be. The gaskets look really good. Everything felt like it clamped really nice together. I was a little bit worried about spacing at first, but once you, like, sort of push it up to where it's supposed to be, it sits super nice in there. So, yeah. We're going to get this finished tomorrow, do some sound clips, do a first drive. And man, I haven't driven this thing in like week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, because it's, you know, we've been down trying to get this shit put back together. So yeah, super excited. It looks great. Obviously this kit kind of angles out to the right, and I think it's fine. The other one that I had was more straight on, but I kind of like the angle to the right look. I didn't realize that, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. But where it burned out the bumper, it kind of clearanced it a little bit, but I still think that it's going to burn if we don't do extended hangers, and I don't want a black, burnt, bubbly bumper. So, yep, that's where we're at, and we'll get her done tomorrow. Am I gonna get in trouble?
That did smoke a little, but it went right away.
Yeah. There's a little pop in that one. Okay. I mean, I smell a little something.
Yeah, when we definitely revved it up.
It looks like we have a good seal there, though. Alright, this thing's pretty nice. It's definitely louder. You can also see my star lights in action here, but little cabin with the windows down. Just a little rev. We're gonna go for a quick little drive, just probably like 10-15 minutes, make sure everything's good, no issues, and then I'll let it cool off, and then tomorrow morning I'll get under and check all the nuts and make sure everything's still tight. Don't expect any issues, but always good to double check. But let's do a little rip around, okay? Of course, gonna adhere to all legal road rules and speed limits, of course. But doesn't mean we can't romp around a little bit. So, let's do it. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. The thing rips, got under it again. I know none of the bolts even needed tightened, they're all still tight. No exhaust leaks, and it sounds sweet. So if you're looking to get the cat back, and you don't want that high-pitched, gross fart can Honda sound, I definitely recommend the HKS system. I absolutely love this thing. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.